Coke Machine for real fishing. Welcome to the party. First of all, I want to thank Tyler Driscoll for letting me use his hut. It's out here in Calendar Bay, and he's sort of left me with the task of keeping an eye on it for him, with the exchange being I get to use the hut whenever he's not here. And since I usually come out ice fishing a couple times in the morning after my shift, I'm here now. So the deal is that I'm going to give you a brief report of what's going on the lake, and then I'm going to just fish, and hopefully I catch something. There's definitely fish coming in on my fish finder here, but they've been just eyeballing my minnows. So the scoop is that there's trucks out on the lake now. There's a couple trucks out here as we speak, and the main launch here coming off of Lansdowne at the government dock is a little messy at the bottom where the trucks have been going through. Allegedly, the whole lake is completely plagued with slush in different spots. Walking out here for me wasn't too bad, but I definitely saw some slush right where the trucks were getting on at the entrance here. And then anywhere close to anybody's hut or where they've been drilling holes, there's slush going on there. And of course, yesterday and today we've seen some pretty warm temperatures, and I think that's going to continue on until next week, which is crazy. But after this super cold spree that we had this past weekend, oh, there we go. Oh, no, no, no. I bet you it was a perch. You'll be back. Sorry to interrupt. I just had a fish on, or at least a fish tried to get on. Anyway, so the hole I'm at here is longer than my spoon, which is measured up to 16 inches, I guess. So combined with the slush on top and stuff like that, I'd say it's definitely around 14, 15 inches here, easy. And it seems like the fish are finally going to start biting today. That's what I'm hoping for. So there's a couple of trucks out here, like I said. Snowmobiles, lots of huts out now. The last time when I was on South Bay there was definitely some people driving around on trucks. Anybody watching my drone video I did earlier, I filmed that on Monday, and I filmed that at Sunset Park. And I didn't see any trucks out there on the ice at the time. If anybody's fishing out there, maybe you can give me the heads up on that. But last I heard, there was some sort of serious chunk of ice that broke off around a pressure crack that people were quite concerned about, and I would be. I think it was like somebody wrote it was 10 feet by 12 feet, which is a pretty sizable chunk of ice. I think they said they were driving over it on a side-by-side and they managed to get out, but there was definitely a fractured piece of ice out there that people need to really keep their eye on. I believe that's it for the report as far as everything that I know. So we got slush, 15, 16 inches of ice, and warm temperatures. We'll see how this affects things. I know everywhere where I'm drilling, there's definitely water coming up. Luckily, in Tyler's hut here, I've drilled a few holes and it sort of built up a bit of an ice casing around the holes, so when it's coming up, it doesn't come out underneath his hut here. So I got myself a fresh sack of minnows, and I'm planning on sitting here for about an hour. I don't know if I have enough juice on my phone to film that whole thing. Unfortunately, I was kind of negligent and forgot to charge up my phone before I got out here, but it's got about 40% of a charge. I'm hoping that my luck's going to turn today, because it seemed like I already had something biting there for a second. I've heard about other people catching some fish on Sunset there. Jeff, I don't know if Jeff's watching. He probably is. He's probably out there right now. No, it doesn't look like Jeff's in the list here. Jeff, if you're watching, I know you said you had a couple walleyes come in already, at Sunset Point. So right now I'm in 25 feet of water. Anybody watching who wants to get a I Cook with Ice hat, Billy Bob's Bait still has a bunch of them there. I think he's got like 10 of them there or so. He's got quite a few. And then as well, sorry, do you guys not see me? Can you just hear my voice? Um, that's weird. Can you see my fish finder? I don't see why you wouldn't be able to see me. Okay. Did I go off screen for a second? You see me now? Okay. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Some kind of streaming related technical problem. So anyway, yeah, if you want I cook with ice hat, you can go to Billy Bob's Bait. I also just dropped off a couple of my kids' books there, the ice fishing one and the summer fishing gear one. So those are ready to go. I think it took a few months to sell two of the summer fishing books there, but they're there in case anybody wants them. And I also have a bunch of lures at Billy Bob's Baits. I went in there and Danny said he hadn't sold a lot of them, so I'm just trying to make sure people are aware that they're there if you want to grab one. So Michael Gates, you say, while I seem really finicky up here this year, caught the majority of my fish on the dead stick. I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that a lot. I'm not sure what the scoop is, but I've been hearing almost everybody I've been talking to, they've been saying that a dead stick with a minnow or even a pinner minnow, pinhead minnow, sorry. Pinner, I don't think is the right terminology for that. Anyway, pinhead minnow has been the key dead sticking from what I've heard. So I definitely haven't seen that many. I don't even think I've caught a walleye yet this year, just a couple of perch so far. So John's area, I'm not sure what's happening. Maybe you stepped on your screen or something like that. Larry Lilly, thank you for confirming that you see. Yeah, John, turn off your phone, restart it. Did you drop it in the toilet recently? Sometimes I'll screw that up. Eugene Christen, thanks for the good luck. I'm definitely seeing a fish or two coming on my fish finder here. I guess I was out here in this hut the other day and I caught a hammer handle pike. So I'm just peering past my phone at my fish finder here to see what's going on. Aaron McCaw, when can we get a live performance if I cook with ice? That would only happen under extremely special circumstances. I'd have to be, drinking a lot of water. A lot of water to get into the zone. Danny Redmond, good morning to you. You got a pinner lined up over there? Minnow, Michael Gates says, a minnow, single hook, and a split shot. Yeah, I haven't. I've gone with, when I was at South Bay, I definitely did, I did a minnow and a split shot. Just gonna put this on the fish finder here. And I didn't get anything then, but that was when it was like -40 outside. So I'm hoping things change a bit this morning with the warmer temperature. Plus it's been a couple of days of having the warmer temperature, so I'm hoping this means they're gonna come around. Oh, I see a guy in a truck. Looks like he's driving. I don't know if you can see it. No. Driving back. Wonder how he did. The guy that's coming in with a truck right now, he's got this really fancy hut out there. It's red. I swear it's got 2 floors. And then he's got what's obviously like an outhouse in the back. It looks like a small house on the lake. Once I get my own pad and a place where I can store a full full hut, I'll probably get myself one. It's a little bit easier when I come out with the kid, to have everything sort of ready to go. It's not that hard to do it with a flip hut and stuff like that. Just I think my son, last time I took him out in the flip hut, he got cold feet, and that's the last thing I need. Like, my goal is to make sure that he doesn't associate ice fishing with some kind of torture. So I got to try to make it as frostbite free as possible. Oh, funny. Sorry. I did just work a shift, so it was my last shift, and needless to say, I was up all night putting together that drone video that I released today. I'm getting a little worried. I got a planned trip down to Lake Rosso, where my buddy has a cottage, to go for some Lakers down there, and the reports that I'm seeing about the ice in the Muskoka area seems pretty not not good. It's sounding kind of bleak. Lots of slush, and then lots of variance in the ice. I mean, I guess it all makes sense with how it went down up here. I was really looking forward to this trip, and it looked like this was going to be the year that it was going to go down, because we used to do it a lot when we were younger people with no families. And then, we'd go like every year and get up to some lake trout fishing. And we caught some nice ones down there, like nothing crazy, but definitely some nice ones. And so every year we're like, we're going to do it. And then it sort of comes down to one or all of us have to bail for whatever reason, usually family related stuff. And it seemed like, I think last year I couldn't get the time off. And then this year we got the time off, we got approval from the family, but then definitely the ice conditions don't look like they're gonna jive. We're going at the end of the month. I was saying to my buddies, it's interesting because you guys watch me for the ice reports and stuff like that, and I can see how handy ice reports would be when you don't live in that area. Like, for example, I was saying to my buddies, where's the Coke machine of Lake Rosso, who's given the updates on the ice conditions? But it's mostly just a few fishermen here or there sharing info, which is great. And I can really appreciate sometimes when people ask how the ice is, people get a little short with them and tell them go measure it yourself. But I can't really go down to Rosso on any day just to measure it. So hopefully it freezes up in time, because I'd love to make that trip. But I remember even in the years gone past, even into February, you'd be looking at 10 inches of ice, as opposed to, oh, come on, bite it, bite it, bite it, bite it, bite it, bite it. Come on. There you are. Come on, bite it. Bite the lure. He was following it there. Guess the fish is just like, not dead stick enough for me. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. All I got is a minnow head on there. My other rod has a full live minnow on it, and just a dead stick rig with a bell. Oh, he's looking at it again. I'm just gonna let it sit completely still. Come on, fish. Where'd you go? I think he's looking at it. Grab it. My bell's ringing over there, so that means my other minnow is going a little wild. Like, the bell's ringing just enough. You can tell it's just the minnow. Come on. Okay, Light shake. I've been hearing a lot of people saying it's like they're getting a lot of lookers and not a whole lot of biters. I'm just gonna let it fall all the way down here and then just dead stick it again. Come on, fish. My son keeps telling me like, "Oh, we got to catch a fish and eat it for dinner," and I'm all on board for that. The last time we went perch fishing, we definitely caught a few and then ate them. Oh, not quite. Just a minnow. Thought for a second there we had something biting. Sorry, I'm just gonna go through the comments here. George, good day, Cokester. Heading up next week with Nipissing guides for a couple of nights. I'll try to grab a hat from Billy Bob's. Maybe we'll see you out. So you're coming up next week. What day of the week are you coming up? Yeah, Chris Mackay. Sure like to catch some walleye. Steve, you're gonna be in South Bay on Saturday, eh? Which are you just fishing with yourself, or you out with an outfitter there? Ha. So Nathan, this is your brother's hut. So far, it's doing pretty good out here. So far, the it's jacked up just enough off the ice, and there hasn't been too much flooding. And like I sort of said earlier, because I've sort of built up an ice ridge around the holes, that there's not a lot of water coming up. So that should help things, I should say. I swear these fish they're looking at it only when it's not in my hand. Larry Lilly say, glad to see someone fishing. It's 51 here in Southern Ontario, man. I've got a couple of cellular game cameras set up in Southern Ontario at my dad's and my buddy's place. And for the longest time, I wasn't seeing any snow. It seems like there's been a bit of snow now, but there were whole long periods of time where I wasn't seeing any snow. I'm just like, what a different world it is down there right now. Corey, welcome to the party. Have you gotten out recently in your area there? I feel like I need to come to Yellock to catch some fish. Michael Gates, the lure. Uh, it's a big spoon that's probably not appropriate for ice fishing, but it says for eel fishing right on the side, like it's written on it. And I'm sure if you ask Robin or Danny or the other person who works there, who I saw this morning, whose name I don't recall, I'm sure if you ask her for the for eel fishing lure spoon, you'll definitely get your hands on it. Sandman outdoors. You say you're heading up this weekend for your first time at Calendar Bay, hoping the I Cook with Ice hat brings the magic. Well, I can tell you that another guy, dude by the name of Jeff, he's been catching a few fish wearing that hat. So it's like I sold all the hats, so I don't have one for myself. so so all the luck is spread out in those hats with people who have them. I guess I could always go and buy one from from Billy Bob's. Here's a snowmobile. Oh, guy's riding a snowmobile with a dog on it. He's wearing jeans. There's lots of ways to fish. Michael Gates say Muskoka's a no-go this year. Hey, yeah, it's it is unfortunate that the conditions are what they are. I mean, it's been I had a chance to talk with some of the outfitters when I was down in South Bay when I was fishing with my brother and his buddies at Lake Nipissing ice fishing charters. And I talked to a few of the outfitters out there, and they were saying that even though they lost a lot of business at the beginning of the year, that they definitely picked up quite a bit more like midweek business because I guess people just rebooked for midweek stuff. Yeah, when we used to go to my buddy's place down there on Lake Rosso, we would walk across to where his cottage was. And it would be about a 4 or 5 kilometer walk. And it was great. And one year we got out there, the conditions were nice and flat, not too much snow on the ice, and then a big snowstorm hit. And on our walk home, we got hit really bad with some terrible, terrible snow, or like deep snow. And it was just a brutal, brutal walk. But then, there's something down there. It's probably a mud puppy. Yeah, absolutely brutal walk. Really difficult. Okay, there's somebody down there looking at it. Come on. Man, it looks big. Bite it. Come on. I'm just going to double flip this one here because I think it zooms in. There's a big object down there. Extremely subtle jigging. Nope. No can do, slurms. As they say. I'm gonna throw down a rattler. I haven't tried that yet, although I feel like that might be a little too loud. We'll see. Give me 1 second here. All right, I'm gonna throw down. Come on. So I've got a dead stick to my right, and then I'm gonna throw down a rattle, try to call them in. If they want a minnow, they can go and eat the minnow. Looks like I need to adjust some things here. Got some light coming through. Huh. This is my chance to turn up the brightness, eh? Oh. Is that really a fish? Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm gonna throw down a relatively small jig of sorts. All right, hopefully that's a little more visible. All right, I'm gonna go through some of the comments here again. So Colin Ferris was you said you caught 16-inch pike and a 14-inch whitefish. Was it like a genuine whitefish or was it a Cisco? So I know there's tons of Cisco's in this lake, but it seems like the whitefish are a unicorn. I have caught one before, only one. Yeah, it seems like, from what I've heard, people are getting into the perch and whatnot on Simcoe, from what I've seen. I'm not sure what part of Simcoe they're able to access, but it seems like the Laker grounds are sort of screwed up. But I know there was there were a few people that I saw that were catching whitefish shallow on Simcoe. I'm sure some of you guys are probably familiar with John White. He does I think he's got a YouTube, but I know him mostly through TikTok. But I'm quite familiar with his material. He's an old guy who just makes these underwater videos and talks about the fish and their biology and where they are and when they are there. Really interesting guy. He does Simcoe mostly. KVG Outdoors, you say you've been out quite a bit lately, but it's very tough recently. What part of the lake have you been going on? Have you been hitting Calendar or have you been getting on the South Shore? Yeah, I got a dead stick minnow, very lively minnow on one side and the one hole, and then this one is the active one. Fahad Khan, nice hut. Thank you. It's not mine. Dude contacted me and asked me to check in on it and fish in it when I had a chance. It's nice. Nice to have the option. So Fahad, you're coming out next week, 17th to 19th. Is that the Family Day weekend? Yeah, it should be busy out here. Wednesday and Thursday. Corey, did you say you've been catching or been out fishing in your hut recently? I may pop over there. Is your hut set up close to Uncle Ray's there, or is it out by your folks' place? Oh. Bet he stole my minnow. Alright, I gotta check my minnow over here. Uh-huh. Oh, one lucky fish got my minnow. All right. So I was on a dead stick. Didn't catch him. Got my minnow. All right. Oops. Sorry, back in the mix here. Definitely had a bite on a minnow. Stole the whole minnow. Yeah, when I was out here in this hut with my son and my brother, we had it warmed up quite well with the buddy heater. Hear a person talk. Yeah, so Corey, like when you say it's right out front, is it like a kilometer out, or are you on that little reef there that you say is out in front of your parents' place? So you're getting some off of Sunset Point, eh, Jeff? What they seem to be hitting this morning. Let me guess. Dead stick minnow, split shot. Joseph Walsh. How's it going, Coke? Good luck out there. Was up on the weekend calendar with my bro. Lots of bites. Hits marked a lot of fish. Came home with a walleye each and a few jumbos. How deep were you fishing out there, Joseph? I'm surprised you were able to catch anything in that freezing cold weather. Colin Ferris, if you just send that picture to forrealfishing at gmail.com, I should be able to get it that way. Steve, I'm in Calendar Bay. You're asking what part of the lake I'm fishing here. So you're in 27 feet, eh? I'm in 25. Paul Lundy, you say your friends are coming up to Calendar Bay on the long weekend. How much slush and snow is on the bay? Well, allegedly, there's a lot of slush all around. It's probably a lot worse if you're riding on a snowmobile or ultimately in a truck. I haven't seen too much slush except right around where the trucks are getting on the ice. So but there's definitely slush around like where people have had their pop-ups and stuff like that anywhere they've got a hole in the ice. And then the snow, I'd probably say there's 8 inches or so of snow, but it's sort of getting flattened down by this warmer weather here. Like the fluffiness is going away. It's like the fish I'm seeing are just sliming along the bottom. Let's see what else I got in my mix here. So I haven't seen any signs come up on my phone yet telling me my battery's gonna die, but the battery is not full, so if it suddenly cuts off, that's what's going on. Alright, I'm gonna put on a slab grabber. Because I find something about these, the way they flutter, can sometimes pick up some finicky fish. And I've caught pretty much everything on these lures. Slab grabbers, I mean. Pike, wallies, perch, you name it. So I'm only going to be fishing till, I don't know, probably 10:30 or so. Still have to hit the hay. Man, oh, whoa, look what's going on down there now. That looks like a whole cloud of fish. I just looked out the window and saw a guy like taking a piss like 40 yards away. So I'm getting wrapped in my fish marker. What's going on here? Okay, I see my lure now. Well, that was a cloud of something that went past there. Guess when you gotta go, eh? I'm sure everybody coming out ice fishing starts their day by drinking a liter of coffee. So what are you gonna do? Jeff DeGroot, you're in the Dominican at the moment. No ice fishing down there. Yeah. So when you're planning your next trip up the calendar there, Jeff? So Nathan, there's probably about I'm gonna say 15 inches for sure below this hut right now. So Michael Gates, you say Muskoka Lakes have gotten 2 or 3 times the amount of snow in North Bay. Add that to inconsistent cold temperatures and not looking good this year. Yeah, that doesn't sound good at all. I didn't know they got that much snow. It's been a strange year. Danny Redmond. Say the rattle wrap. You like those rattle wraps, eh? I've got one of those guys. I used to do really good with a red rattle wrap. And I think a pike bit it off and I just haven't got another one. David Johnson, Morning Coke, we're out on calendar right now. Measured 16 inches of ice. What part of calendar are you guys at? Are you, like I've seen, are you in a permanent hut or a pop-up hut? It's really interesting seeing the whole town come to life out here. Town on the ice, I mean. When I was living in Yellock there, it was all pretty spaced out. You almost had, you know, some people had their huts close to each other, but you could reasonably be in a spot where the next guy was half kilometer away. So last week you're in Keswick, caught 87 perch in 4 hours, kept 12 big ones. Sorry, I thought I felt something there. Yeah, I love it when the perch bite comes on and you have like a million perch. I remember sometimes years, not that many years ago, but a few years back, where you couldn't fish with two rods up here because the perch were coming in so hard. You just couldn't keep up. TDRISC. Yep, the hut's getting use. My son enjoyed being in here. I like your light system that you got in here. I was having trouble figuring it out. Then all of a sudden, when after dark, it just like came on, and I'm like, oh. Anyway, I turned it off, but that was cool. One thing I would say is that like your whole covers, you've got these really light duty um, hinges that you know might get roughed up through the process of the ice fishing game. So I know ice gets bunched up around the holes and stuff like that, and they try to close them, and they might get bent up a bit. I've been very gentle with them though. um, Something you might want to do is like instead of a hinge, is just have like a section of bungee cord, or like those rubber bungee style tarp things. It's just so you can keep them in place, but not like have the pressure put on the hinge. Of course, I'm not a ice hut scientist, so I'm sure there's other people who got better ideas than that. So yesterday, David Johnson, you caught 9 jumbo perch, 1 pike, 2 walleye, and 1 Cisco, and a 21-inch walleye. Oh, was that the evening bite? I assume it probably was, eh? Yeah, this. See, Colin Ferris, he said it was a Cisco. You just double checked. They look so similar. It's just the face. The face is different. It's funny. When I was a kid, my dad seemed to think there was this whole science to being able to tell the difference between a largemouth bass and a smallmouth bass. And he explained it was like when their mouth was closed, their jaw in a largemouth bass ended behind their eye, and in a smallmouth bass they ended in front of their eye. I always found that the distinguishing between the two bass was often extremely easy without having to, worry about their jaw, because the coloring on a smallmouth bass is like pretty unique, and as well, a largemouth bass tends to be the same thing. It's like they got that stripe down the side. So you got some kind of action going on down there. Come on, bite it. I swear. I feel like I killed my minnow on the dead stick there somehow. There's definitely a fish down there. There was more action a second ago. As far as Michael Gates is saying, you want to fish deep point, but you don't know where to access it. I don't know where to access that either. I've heard, I've heard about it, and I've heard that the launch is a mess. I tried to spin around along the South Shore a little bit last week to see what's what, because I really spent pretty much zero time down there, and yeah, I'm not sure where the deep point access is. I think people park on a road. That's what somebody told me. but I couldn't tell you where or what road that is. I assume if you look at a map, though, you'll probably be able to see there's probably at least one road that must go past Deep Point. All right, I'm gonna go real small. I'm putting on Simcoe Bug. I've been told that these won't work on a Nipissing unless they rename it this Nipissing Bug. But you know. All right, yellow bumblebee colors. You know, just going for matching the hatch. Just kidding. I'm sure these fish have never seen a bumblebee. You never know. Ken, welcome to the live stream. Yeah, I'm not sure. I try to share it in a few places when I'm going to go live, but I think there's probably some sort of notification bell or something like that that would probably let you know right away when I'm going to go live. Yeah, that's right. KVG Fishing. You say you've been going to calendar mostly, but you've gone to Deep Bay once. It was super windy. A lot of lookers and a few takers, hoping this warmer weather might get them fired up. That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, a couple days of this warm, and these fish are going to be all over the place, all riled up and hungry. And it seems like, I mean, I've had some more hits today than I have had for the last bit, but nothing ferocious yet. And I'm running out of time. But we'll see. I'll be doing the official evening bite tomorrow, and we'll see if I do it in this hut again, just to see how the evening bite is here, or I might be going to Yellick. We'll see how it goes. ATV. Yeah, Rick John. Yeah, the way this Striker 4 is set up, as you can see, you got like a vertical view on this side, and then this side is like this traditional fish finder style. So you can see my lure jumping up and down there, and so a lot of times if the fish just comes into here, if the whole thing was just the view of this sidebar here, a fish could come and go, and you might be, you know, looking at the window and totally miss it. But the fish finder will show you where that fish have been by, you know, while you were distracted by whatever. I don't know if that answers your question. Okay. COD WW2 Hi Coke. If you see the Rapella black red hut, come say hi. You know, I saw a hut yesterday when I was out here that was I think it was a black and red Rapella hut, and they had a wood stove in it. It probably wasn't him, eh? You're not there now. Brad Kowalski. Hey Coke, didn't catch you at the beginning. Where are you fishing? I'm in Calendar Bay today, just for a few more minutes actually. Just see if I can catch a bite after my shift here. However, I may be back here tomorrow. So you said your friend has property off of Smith Island, and you did really great last weekend. Boy, it's funny because last weekend where we were fishing, we were not doing particularly well. But then I heard of a few people who seem to be really kicking ass in different places. Even some other people with our operator, they were in a spot that was closer to an island, and they said they caught something like over 100 perch or something. It was crazy. So you say the Okuma bait feeder reel? See, it's funny because I have a Okuma bait runner that I use for carp fishing. I don't know if that's the same kind of thing. I'll take a look at that when I get home. Brad Kowalski, you say family day weekend. You're going to my other buddies at Jocko Point catching monster perch there every day. You know, that's close to my old zone, and I miss it quite a bit, and I might just have to get out there. Catching monster perch out there was one of my favorite pastimes. And yeah, there were some big ones. I know Jocko Point, the conditions are a little bit different there because I think there's a lot more sand. But Yellick had, sort of muddy bottom, some rocks close to shore. But we generally did pretty good. There were a few years where it was really kicking ass. Let's see what's going to be my last bait. The last bait of the session. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm going to throw on something really, really, really small. Going with a tungsten. Tungsten with a micro jig. Tungsten micro jig. It looks bigger, but it's really small. If the fish down there are perch, then maybe this will catch one. And then I better get ready to go. The good thing was is that since the weather was mild here, I didn't even have to re-drill the holes from yesterday. Just showed up. That's my favorite way to do it. Oh. All right, we got fish. Screwed. It's an eyeball. All right. Well, I don't think he's a keeper. Stop moving. I'll get you off the hook. Easy. There you go. Probably a 14-incher. Definitely throw back. Maybe they're coming in. Maybe I can't leave just yet. All right. Let me put another minnow on there, and we'll add a little bit of time here. All right. See if we can catch that guy's uncle. Catching one fish is nice. Maybe the school's in. Maybe school's on. There you go. The skunk has left the hut. And I'm supposed to be going home right now, but who can leave when you just caught a fish? Makes you want to fish harder. Makes you need to sleep less. All right. So let me just go through things here. I'll add a few more minutes to the clock. Oops. Sorry, I'm trying to. There we go. I'm not sure where that appears to be flashing. It usually doesn't. It doesn't appear flashing to me, so. So, Brad, you say, remember those crazy guys on snowmobiles heading out way out in the slush a few weeks ago on snowmobiles? That was me and my buddy Brent, Ron and Chris. Okay, I got a fish looking at it. Okay, he decided nope. Okay, my bells rattling over there. Okay. Not sure what happened there. Feel. Minnow is definitely reacting to something down there. Oh, here we go. What we got this time? Feels like another walleye. No, Cisco. Ooh. These guys always save all their energy for the floor, right? Easy. There you go, Cisco. Sliming up my shirt here. Blah. Yep, he's trying to shoot back up. There he goes. Oh. Seems like the fish are coming around. That's just gonna really slime me up. All right. Oh, looks like I can see a fish down at the bottom there. Let's see if anyone else wants to party. I wouldn't mind catching a wad of Cisco's. It's funny that it's like the 10:35 bite. They're resting up. All right. I guess this little tungsten bead I got here is probably perfect for Cisco fishing. Because they got such small mouths. Oh, got another one. This one feels like a perch. This could be the real mixed bag here. Yep. It's another Cisco. Oop. Got off right at the hole. That's okay. I mean, I like catching fish and getting them out of the hole, but Sometimes if he gets off the hole, I should have pulled my fish finder out of the hole. He got tangled in. That's how he got off. So Cisco's are biting. I've never caught two in a row. Usually out at Yellick when I was out there, I'd always catch like a Cisco, and that would be it. So I don't mind catching a couple of them. Now I've found that every time I've tried to clean one, that they've had some pretty crazy worms. Worms crazier than I've ever seen. Yeah, Michael Gates. Yeah, the Cisco mouths are pointed up. Whitefish are more pointed down. Definitely. Lipless Rapella. Dead sticks for the jumbos. Sounds good, Jeff. Brad Kowalski, you love the show, huh? Steve Vukovic. I have not fished the West Arm at all. However, this coming end of season, I got a plan going out with Regan from Regan Thompson from Paradise Cove, and hopefully we see some action out there. But I've never fished that area myself. I don't get why on the video here it looks like my thing's flashing my screen. I don't get it. Hopefully that's not annoying you guys too badly. Freedom Hammered Minnow Spoon was the only lure they took last week for me. Couldn't even touch the trusty buckshot. I love those buckshot spoons, I can tell you. I got a lot of faith in them. They're great. But the Freedom Hammered Minnow, I'm trying to think, does that one look sort of like a jigging wrap? Probably not, eh? I'm trying to think of the Freedom Tackle lures. I've got a couple of them. Definitely from the sounds of it being hammered, I wouldn't think it was a jigging wrap. now that I think about it. Right on. Joseph Walsh, you're asking, is the walleye fishing good in Yellick? It's definitely, when it's good, and when it's not. I feel like out there, at least for me, that the perch were often amazing, and then some days you did really well on walleye, and some days you didn't see them for a long time. But I'm sure there's other people who live in that area who probably catch. Like they could get out a little bit further than I could. I was always on foot. Yeah, usually the perch are all over the place in this lake there, Michael. There's lots of them and they're big. So Jason Vandernyet, catching those slow bottom huggers on small pink jig head with a pinner. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these bottom huggers coming in. Yeah, TDRISC. Yeah, definitely the hinges can be. I know some people just have them. It's just like tops, that they can put on. Um, but sometimes the things don't quite line up. But I mean, you're basically just trying to keep wind and stuff from getting inside your hut when you're not in it. I know the best setup I ever saw, and I don't know if Corey's still on here or not, but it was his uncle Ray had these like tubes that fit in the hole that they're almost like buckets with no ends on them, and basically it stopped the wind from coming up. It also stopped a lot of the water and stuff like that, snow and stuff like that, getting up into your hut when you're drilling and whatnot. Sort of contain things a little better. David Bennett caught one walleye and two Cisco, although one Cisco got off at the hole right when I was about ready to pack up. And even now, I probably should start packing packing up. So Michael Gates, the Acme Hyper Rattle. I'll have to look that one up. Um, Small profile and loud. That's what I like to hear. So let's see. I gotta look up Freedom lure, hammered, and then the Acme Hyper Rattle. I've got this Acme lure that's made that is like it's like a jigging wrap, but it has these little wings that come out that like unfold when it falls. I've had some luck with that. Rattle Master. Don't want to take anything higher than 6 inches off the bottom, eh? Yeah. I like a few of the fish would follow it up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna fish for 5 more minutes, and then I better go. I know last time I left at 10:30 and I got home kind of late, but since it's my last day, I don't have to go to work tonight, so I can just try to sleep a little bit harder. Yeah, you gotta love the color on those Cisco's. I mean, they're just silvery. They seem to lose a lot of scales too when you get them in. They just really make a mess. Yeah, I was gonna fly my drone out here in Calendar, but whoa, it's getting a little windy. Sorry, I was gonna say I was gonna fly my drone out here in Calendar Bay to catch the scene because it was a nice sunny moment here. But I can definitely say that it's probably too windy now. I've been surprised though. I've been able to fly my drone in like a little bit of wind, probably like 10K, 15K. So Jeff, did you just catch a 34-inch pike? Okay, I got a fish that's up a little bit. Okay, when it reaches 1050, I'm gonna have to actually pack it in here. Oh, Michael Gates, the Acme Hyper Rattle Master spoon. Looks like I'm gonna be looking for one of those. Billy Bob has them. You know, Billy Bob's got a pretty good selection. And by Billy Bob, I mean Danny. Billy Bob's has got a good selection of stuff, and uh, North Bay Outfitters have lots of selection as well. I'll have to check out. I'll probably go to Billy Bob's because I got business there. Patio lantern. Yeah, these live streams are fun because it's like hanging out, and it's nice when you catch fish. That's it would be awesome if every time I sat down I caught a whole whack of fish. But it just doesn't work out like that. In fact, I think on stream here this might be I think I caught one perch another time, but it's been pretty slow. So I got a fish right on the bottom there. Come on. I could really go for catching a monster burbot right now. That would that would make my morning. So Michael Gates, you say dude lost a clam Yukon flip over yesterday on Simcoe. Like did it actually blow it blew away? I would think like with the whole sled and everything it would be a hard thing to blow away. Like those pop-ups, they're just like a parachute waiting to waiting to launch. So it seems like this tungsten little lure here seems to catch the eye of the Cisco's, but I haven't seen anything else. So I got 2 more minutes here. I'm surprised my battery on my phone's lasted this long, but it's probably because I'm inside a hut and not in the open air. It tends to really kill the batteries. Well, let's do some flashy jigging here. See if we can drum up the last of the fish. Oh, there's the sign from my phone saying my battery is about to die. Oh God. Sir, I see your message there, Jeff. Fish went through every line. Sounds like classic pike action. All right, everybody, my phone's about to die. I'm gonna have to roll. Thanks for joining me. You can join me again tomorrow. I'll be doing a live stream either here or in Yellock. We'll see what catches my fancy, and we'll catch you guys another day. Have a great day.